as INEC chairman prepares to exit. Details now. Thank you for staying tuned. The world news at 12 begins outside the shores of Nigeria, where parents in China are being offered 3,600 yuan, about £375 or $500 a year, for each of their children under the age of 3 in the government's first nationwide subsidy aimed at boosting birth rates. The country's birth rate has been falling even after the ruling Communist Party abolished its controversial one-child policy almost a decade ago. The handout will help around 20 million families with the cost of raising children, according to state media. Several provinces across China have piloted some form of payouts to encourage people to have more children as the world's second-largest economy faces a looming demographic crisis. The scheme, which was announced on Monday, will offer parents a total of up to 10,800 yuan per child. Beijing state broadcaster CCTV said the policy will be applied retroactively from the start of this year. Families with children born between 2022 and 2024 can also apply for partial subsidies. The move follows efforts by local government to boost birth rates in China. In another development, some Ghanaians have protested against Nigerians for allegedly engaging in ritual killings in their country. In a viral video today, the protesters in their large numbers were seen wielding placards with various inscriptions such as "Armed robbery and violent attacks must stop," "Our health at stake due to mass prostitution," "Who protects the right and freedom of Ghanaians?" "Nigerians are kidnapping and using people for rituals," "Our kids are getting missing because of Igbos," amongst others. They also displayed a picture of a man who was allegedly killed by a Nigerian in the Accra area of the country. Speaking in the video, a lady in her mid-30s said Nigerians must go because of their anyhowness in the country. Another protester said Nigerians have taken over their major markets and are perpetrating evil of sorts in their country. You will recall that a similar occurrence, popularly christened Ghana Must Go, happened in 1983 when the Nigerian government under President Shehu Shagari enacted a directive ordering about 2 million undocumented immigrants, many of whom were Nigerians, to leave the country. Meanwhile, as Professor Mahmoud Yakubu's tenure as chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) nears its end, political actors and interest groups have begun subtle maneuvers to influence who takes over the sensitive role. Yakubu, who was first appointed in 2015 by former President Muhammadu Buhari and reappointed in 2020, will complete his second and final term in October 2025, while some stakeholders hope for a smooth and credible transition. Others expressed skepticism about the process, especially given the presidency's constitutional powers to nominate a successor subject to Senate confirmation. Debate has also intensified over which geopolitical zone should produce the next chairman, with voices from the North Central, Southeast and South-South demanding consideration. Alex Ogbonna, a former publicity secretary of Ohaneze Ndigbo, questioned the integrity of the process, citing President Bola Tinubu's pattern in previous appointments. In a recent revelation, former Borno State Governor Senator Ali Modu Sharif has confirmed that Labour Party's 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi is set to return to the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to contest the 2027 presidential election. He made the disclosure during a monitored interview television program on Monday night. You will recall that PDP elder statesman and founding member Professor Jerry Ghana had said days ago that the party had opened dialogue with Obi and other prominent southern politicians ahead of the 2027 general elections. The former Minister of Information noted that the PDP is seeking to reposition itself and that internal reflections on past presidential primaries are influencing current strategic moves. Rumors of Obi's possible return to the PDP gathered momentum after reports emerged that the party may zone its 2027 presidential ticket to the south. Fueling the speculation further, the PDP's Deputy National Publicity Secretary Ibrahim Abdullahi recently described Obi as a valuable asset. Now let's take a listen to Senator Ali Modu Sharif speaking on Peter Obi's possible return to the party.
There are three or so that are looking for president. And Atiku has been a vice president of Nigeria. So for him, president or nothing. Peter Obi ran under Labour. His ambition is to become a president. For your information, the information available to me is that any moment from now, Peter Obi will go back to PDP and run as a presidential candidate under PDP. So that leaves that leaves Vice President Atiku and Amechi. Tell me which state they control. I want to ask you. You told me that the heavyweights. Tell me the heavyweights. Which states? I think.
You're still listening to World News at 12 and Voice of the People 90.3 FM. The Ebonyi State Governor, Francis Nwifuru, has suspended a total of 81 government officials. A statement on Monday night noted that among those affected in the wave of suspension are the Attorney General, 25 commissioners, 22 permanent secretaries, including 14 senior special assistants and 24 special assistants. According to the statement, the officials had failed to attend an important government function. In a statement signed by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Monday also, the commissioners and other political appointees are to proceed on a 1-month working suspension with immediate effect without salary payment. The suspended commissioners include the Attorney General, the Minister of Works, Finance, Information, Rural Development, Education, Agriculture, Water Resources, the Commissioner of Commerce and Industry, Environment, Health, Arts and Culture, amongst others. The governor also directed that the affected commissioners and other political appointees are prohibited from signing any official document within 1 month of their working suspension. Healthcare services across Nigeria faces major disruption on Wednesday as nurses under the umbrella of the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, a federal health institution sector, prepare to embark on a 7-day nationwide warning strike. The strike will affect 74 federal hospitals, other state hospitals and primary healthcare centers. The industrial action, expected to paralyze services in federal medical centers, teaching hospitals and specialist institutions, is in protest over issues including poor remuneration, staff shortages, unpaid allowances and unsafe working conditions. The union on July 14, 2025 issued a 15-day ultimatum to the federal government demanding immediate intervention to prevent a total healthcare shutdown. The association noted that despite the ultimatum, the federal government had not initiated any negotiations. You're currently listening to the World News at 12 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We will now head into the news analysis segment. Joining me to discuss issues on the World News at 12 this afternoon, I have Mr. Dele Fanimo. He's a veteran journalist as well as a political, social and a national affairs commentator. Welcome to the World News at 12 and thank you for joining us today. Always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Mr. Fanimo, 10 is happening now. 10, like more like 11 is actually even happening right now. Ghanaians are protesting and asking Nigerians to leave their country. They're accusing Nigerians of being involved in ritual killings and evils of all sorts. They're accusing Nigerians of taking over their markets. They're accusing Nigerians of importing anyhowness from our own country into their own country. They're saying, in fact, their major markets have been taken over. Nigerians have taken over their businesses. They're not allowing them know what they're doing in their own country. And it is so sad to see. Has our reputation been so destroyed on the international scene that even our West African brothers, Ghana, that some people will say is just at our backyard here, are saying that Nigerians should leave the country. Also, when you look at our international reputation, it is not exactly the best. And it's not just in Ghana. In South Africa, there's been xenophobic attacks on Nigerians. If you go to some other countries outside of Africa, Nigerians are not very, very welcome there either. What's going on, Mr. Fanimo? And how can our government actually remedy the situation to ensure that we have a very good international reputation and we are not being chased away from wherever we try to go and try to visit across the world? Before we actually proceed on analysis, I want us to take a listen to a Ghanaian talking.
Ghana is for us. Ghana is not for any foreigner. No Igbo man can come to this country and intimidate us. This country belongs to us. President Mahama, you came for Ghanaians. You said Ghana first. You said you came for the youth. Please take action now. Thank you.
Your country. We love our small Ghana. We don't need you, Nigerian people. You are wicked. Go. We don't need you. Nigeria must go.
We are begging you guys. There is a lot going on in Ghana. We've kept quiet for so long, and it is time we have a review.
This was quite unfortunate, Mr. Fanimo, that even our neighbors right now do not want us around. But let's hear what other Nigerians have to say about this situation.
Nigeria must go. Nigeria must go. No, Nigeria must go. And the country must be divided. is that the Igbos waiting for Ghana. They should not invest in Ghana. They should come back home and invest in Igbo lands.
Why, if Nigeria started it, I know when we say Ghana must go. That you get one bag, what would they use? We say Ghana must go. Now here where they did that time, now we don't pursue them. They go their place, go do their own well. Now where they don't go do you back. They're supposed to do back. No, they're supposed to do back.
So now pay back.
If they say if you can't pay back, no problem. But don't
forgive them.
If you slap me, as me they do something here now, my brother, if I believe in Moses law, if you slap me, I go slap you back one time. When we go judge, when judge data reach the judge at that place.
I don't go blame Ghanaians so because I remember when they say Ghana must go. Yes. Remember that year?
You remember when they say Ghana pursue Ghana?
Nigeria pursue Ghana, they go develop their country.
Yes, Nigeria pursue Ghana.
Now, you know, he believes that Ghana.
Mr. Fanimo, even some Nigerians believe that yes, Nigerians should leave these foreign countries and come back home to develop their countries. What do you have to say about this?
It's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag. And why I said this is the fact that, you see, over the years, we have seen the good, the bad, and the ugly among Nigerians abroad. I've been a victim on some occasions. Let me start with Ghana. The first time I went to Ghana, there are some idiosyncrasies you portray that the Ghanaian would ask you, are you from Lagos? Lagos to them is Nigeria. And Ghanaians are not quick at rushing, hustling. They take things easy. And along the West African coast, I've been to Gambia, I've been to Senegal, I've been to Ghana, I've been to some other countries. And the pace at which they hustle, the pace at which they go about their daily lives cannot be compared to the way a Nigerian is always having that drive.
So they are easygoing people. We have gra. Is that the reason why they're saying that Nigerians are taking over their markets?
That's one. You see, do you know that sometimes a lot of issues come up that will precipitate this kind of actions? Already, they have this feeling that we didn't treat them well when they came to Nigeria in droves. Before 1983, that policy was implemented by the then Shagari regime. Ghanaians were so many in Nigeria. They were teachers in schools. They were the cobblers. They were the mercenaries, and all of these media jobs they were doing. And so, the way we railroaded them out of this country, they never liked it. And you could see the resentment the moment they know you are a Nigerian. They have a way of resenting you. So, it just boiled over because of what happened. The man that claims to be Eze Ndigbo in Ghana, they felt that he came all the way from Nigeria to usurp their powers, that they said he was carving a palace for himself in Ghana.
You feel that recent development is part of what has raised this tension?
Aggravated the tension. And so it was like they were looking for an opportunity to strike back. And the man who calls himself Eze Ndigbo provided them the opportunity to do what they did. And it's really, really unfortunate. There are Igbo guys that are doing legitimate jobs in Ghana. There are Yoruba people. As a matter of fact, there's this market they call, is it Mokola Barracks, market in Accra. On a number of occasions, I've been to Ghana several times. On a number of occasions, I visited that market. If you get to that market, you think you are in Mokola Ibadan. because of
the number of Nigerians.
The Nigerians that were there.
Is that not part
Yoruba,
of what the takeover that the Ghanaians are talking about? Because when you go to certain other countries outside of Africa, you see in the Nigerian market, African market, we know that is not peculiar to Nigeria, but we want to bring it back home and talk about actually putting our house in order for two reasons: so that we don't have this kind of peculiar reputation on the international scene, and also so that we do not have people asking us to leave their country. We need to put our house in order. Let's bring it back home. How can we make sure that we don't go outside and they're chasing us? Because if Ghana is like, sometimes, on social media we joke around and say, oh, Ghana is like Nigeria's younger brother. Ghana is like the Nigeria's friend. Yes, we can have jollof wars and all of that, but Ghana always has our back. If these people that we feel that if every other nation in the world should not be happy with us or should chase us out, Ghana will always accept us. If we do not have a good relationship with the African countries at our backyard, how then can we have a good relationship with those across the Atlantic Ocean?
You see, an average Nigerian, particularly from the southern part of the country, we have this peculiarity. We want to explore the world. We want to express ourselves. We want to spread our tentacles and all that. And so there's a trade protocol initiated in the ECOWAS Treaty that allows citizens of West African countries to move freely within the ECOWAS countries. Where they have kept that, I don't know. Now, you were talking about what we were supposed to do as Nigerians. The point is, we need good leadership that will galvanize the population and provide an enabling environment. If your business thrives in Nigeria, why would you take it to Ghana? Because the population of Ghana as of today is not even up to 100 million. I think it hovers between 60 and 70 million. And here you have a huge market of over 200 million. And you are running away from it. Something must have chased you away from the environment where you have a bigger market compared to a smaller market. And again, another thing that they will not tell you about this phobia for Nigerians. We have a culture that is different. Do you know why they were attacking us in South Africa? It is simply because of our cultural differences. It wasn't business. And I also witnessed it when I went to South Africa the first time and the second time.
So what should Nigerians do?
Now, do you know that
down, they should lay low when they go to other countries?
Do you know
they should not be too flamboyant and extravagant?
You have just mentioned it. Nigerians are too flamboyant and extravagant. I'll give you examples. The culture I met in South Africa when I went to South Africa was that one of the ladies told me when we were discussing, he said, you guys, we prefer you Nigerians than our men. Years of apartheid had dealt a deadly blow on men in South Africa, such that they hardly went to school at that time. The ladies were allowed to go to school. So that's why you find a lawyer in South Africa married to a taxi driver. And in the culture in South Africa is, if I am your friend and we are going on a date, you pick your bill, I pick my bill. But because our culture,
so Nigerian men now went there, they were not taking
care of the
importing their own culture,
importing their own culture,
the culture of the people that they met.
So,
and is that enough reason for?
Because they feel that those ladies are no longer there for them, but for Nigerians. It was one of those reasons. It could be ridiculous. And it could be funny, but that is
Mr. Fanimo, it's unfortunate, but right now this is not funny. We do not want to see xenophobic attacks in Ghana. If Nigerians cannot travel to Ghana here, where can they travel to? we cannot.
Must we travel?
Must we travel, Mr. Fanimo?
Yes.
But you said now that you have traveled to South Africa. You have traveled to Ghana.
Listen, I never stayed anywhere in this world.
Yeah, so people that want to stay and travel the world and
then
see
if you
the
must,
world.
if you must
the world
stay,
is a big place.
If
People
you
want to
must
travel.
stay.
They want to see the beauty of the world.
You said you must see. I have gone to see. I went as
So after seeing, they should come back.
Yes.
They should not have bases in those places. They should not buy property and build houses abroad. They should come back to Nigeria and invest. Is the Nigerian
Can you show me any American?
Is the Nigerian economic climate friendly to investors?
Now that is where I've just told you that we need a leadership that will provide the enabling environment for us to be able to stay in our country.
When the leadership is not doing that and you say, must you travel? Can you blame the people that travel?
You don't understand. If you must travel, abide by the laws of the land. Abide. There was no basis, even in Nigeria. Honestly, Indigbo, the umbrella organization of Igbos, had banned anybody calling himself Eze outside of Igbo land. Are you not aware of that?
True.
So why would you go to as far as Ghana with different constitution governing them, with different culture and nuances, and say you want to be, and you are even building a palace? It's not right. Let's be realistic with ourselves.
So the Ghanaians have a very good reason for saying they don't want Nigerians in their country. But okay, let's talk about diplomatic relations now, right? They have a new president, John Mahama. They're calling on the presidency, let Ghana be for Ghanaians. How would you expect President Bola Tinubu to actually liaise with the Ghanaian president to ensure that this does not descend into xenophobic attacks?
You see, we are praying for it not to happen. But the Nigerian government, through the Foreign Affairs Minister and Nigerian ambassador to Ghana and the presidency, should be engaging them now. And before it escalates. And then the two presidents, funny enough, Mahama spent a better part of his life in Nigeria while growing up. So he understands Nigeria very well. But the point is, if you are accommodated in another man's land, understand their culture and then know your bounds.
So Nigerians don't have boundaries when they travel abroad. They try to take over everything.
I said, know your bounds.
Let's come back home, Mr. Fanimo. Let's come back home and talk about our own issues, the political and electoral issues that are bedeviling us. Maybe our country will even be better. Quite a number of Nigerians have been talking about the fact that the tenure of the INEC chairman will soon end. It will be time for Mahmoud Yakubu to go. They're very interested in who becomes INEC chairman after Mahmoud Yakubu. We know how the 2023 elections went. To many people, he will not be the one to conduct the 2027 elections. Many Nigerians have been calling for electoral reforms, especially to strip the president of the powers to appoint the INEC chairman. If another INEC chairman is appointed without these electoral reforms occurring, can we actually have a very good election in 2027?
You see, when you are focusing on individual and neglecting the system, that is when you get it wrong. If you put an angel in a devil's community, that angel will become the devil. If you put the devil in angel's community, the devil would sooner than later be converted to be an angel. If you are not talking about how to reform the system, you are saying you are concerned about who becomes INEC chairman. What makes you is the new INEC chairman, is it going to come from Mars or Venus? Or is it going to come from heaven directly?
Nigerians are more interested not in the person or the individuality of the INEC chairman, but in his appointment, in how this person comes into the system. They want somebody that will be unbiased. They want someone that will not be compromised because of the method of their appointment. If you put me in a position, you would expect me to be loyal to you.
Jega was appointed by who? Jonathan. Did not do something against Jonathan. Did he not?
Okay, so it's about the person in power and how they want the process to go.
No, I'm just asking you. You are tenacious about telling me that anybody that brings somebody to
now,
power.
I'm just telling you what Nigerians feel, what Nigerians are saying,
but
and why they want electoral reforms.
They need some level of sense of history.
Are you saying we don't need electoral reforms in this country?
What I'm saying is, let's talk about electoral reforms and not who becomes INEC chairman. Anybody can become
who becomes INEC chairman is part. The process of becoming INEC chairman is part of these electoral reforms.
Those
you
who are
cannot
supposed to
be without passing through.
There is a constitutional requirement to emerge as the INEC chairman, and if it has not been changed, is it going to be changed in the next 2 months that we will expect another INEC chairman to come in?
Isn't this what you know?
What were Nigerians? What were the National Assembly members doing all this while? That man is going to spend his, I think, 10 years in office, or 8, by October. Between when he was appointed and now, did anybody raise eyebrows on who succeeds him? When he was about finishing his first term, did anybody raise eyebrows? What we are saying is, you see, for me, maybe I don't really understand the way people reason. Maybe that's why I talk like this, because I want to say something that syncs with some level of intellect. But when you now begin to shout over what? You need to be intentional, and you be sure that what you are saying today, in the next 3-5 years, if anybody comes back to that particular recording and play back to you, you will not be ashamed of yourself. And that's why I said, whoever becomes the INEC chairman does not matter as much as reforming the electoral system. We were talking about independent candidacy. Nobody hyped it up till now, until somebody now comes and say, no, we have said it all the time. Why are we not consistent in demanding for what is good? It is only when there is political expediency to catch somebody, that's when you now raise eyebrows and you begin to complain.
So you say Nigerians don't know what they want?
We don't know what we want.
Really?
Yes. If we know what we want, we will ask for our rights.
Which is?
How long does it take for INEC to be reformed? Let's go back to the Electoral Reforms Act. Let's go back to the Electoral Act and see where we feel that up till now. Do you know that we shouted and talked over beavers and IREF? That, do you know why people cannot go to court over those operational equipment? Because it is at the level of operations of INEC, and INEC determines what is suitable for them at any moment in time. Now, we have not gone back to say, let us put this thing in the Electoral Act and let it become a law, so that nobody will come and tell us, now we are going to another election. So if IREF begins to misbehave in 2027, if Beavers begins to misbehave, then you now come up and say, they did this because of IREF that is not functioning. They did this, and then when it gets to a point,
because of these things that Nigerians are talking now before 2027, Nigerians feel that there is still a little time to set things right, to set the right things in motion before 2027, so that we do not have these same operational glitches that we had in 2023.
And what are
with a new INEC chairman at the helm of affairs this time?
He's not the INEC chairman. You see, I don't know.
I understand you when you say it's not the INEC chairman, right? I'm saying so that we don't have the same problem we have before with a new INEC chairman at the helm of affairs. It won't be the same person in 2027.
The point is, what are you doing? The only place
what do you want Nigerians to do? What do you expect Nigerians to do?
The only thing that will change this process is for us in our various constituency to compel whoever is representing us, either at Senate or House of Reps, that look, this is what we want, and you go back to that Senate or the House of Reps and tell them that we want this thing enshrined in the electoral law, not as operational guideline. And you are tenacious about it. Mount protest in the National Assembly that just that singular act. Please, we want, by all means, we want Beavers IREF to be part of constitutional requirement under the law in Electoral Act that look, this thing must be put in Electoral Act, that it is compulsory that you must use, and if there is any reason to experience glitches, that election should be postponed, or there will be an alternative to it. But we are just debating on radio and television, and maybe at best opinion in the newspaper. Will it change anything? It will not. And we're still coming back here after that election to debate this. And God willing, God preserving our lives, I will remind you of today. Chioma.
Mr. Fadimo, because of our time, let's quickly talk about another situation. This has been all the rage since last night when Senator Ali Modu Sharif came out with an explosive revelation that Peter Obi will be heading back to the PDP to contest the 2027 presidency. There seems to be no space for him in the ADC coalition.
Did I not tell you at that
given
time?
Atiku's ambition.
Did I not tell you?
Wait, now you will answer the question. Just wait small. You will answer the question. Let me land. Let me. Can I go on?
Go on.
One question Nigerians are asking is, why is he the one coming out to tell us this? I mean, where are the people who are meant to be speaking for Obi? If Obi will be doing this, should he not be the one letting Nigerians know? Did Obi not know that there was the possibility of him not getting the presidential ticket when he joined the ADC? And also, the PDP right now, many people consider it to be a skeletal party, devoid of the political heavyweights that once filled the party. So wouldn't it be, let's say, a political manslaughter for him going back to the PDP to contest under their platform? Or is he expecting Nigerians and the obedient people who support him to come and meet him in the PDP?
But obedient had said, wherever he goes, they have become the roots. Wherever your family is, will I be? Wherever you go, will I go? Was that not what was written in the Bible? And the obedient had promised that wherever Obi finds himself, they will always be there. So it's a pact, and they must follow it to the letter. That's one. Two, Modi Sharif is not a small person in PDP. You recall that Modi Sharif was a 2-time governor. He was also a senator. So, for me, he knows what he's talking about. And I've told you that from day one they created ADC. Even before P2B went to ADC, I said that is not his place. That is not his place. So
he made a political miscalculation by joining that coalition.
He didn't make a political miscalculation. You know why? What he did throughout in ADC was to put a leg to test the waters in ADC.
Did he have to be in there to test the waters?
He never removed his leg from Labour Party. And Labour Party is embroiled. I told you that ADC is on a quicksand and just little wind will blow it off. Have you not seen it? The day they talked about ADC, didn't I tell you here, or Esther, that these people, they want to use Southerners to achieve what they plan to achieve by returning power to the north.
But if Atiku and Obi do not consolidate, are they not still sharing the votes that they would have had together and making it easier for the APC in 2027? Because the main purpose of the ADC coalition is to snatch and grab power from the APC come 2027. So if they do not have a united base, how exactly can they achieve what seems to be their sole aim?
Unbridled ambition will never allow 2-3 gladiators to meet and have a consensus. I told you that day that Atiku forever, as long as he breathes, even if he cannot carry his lips, he wants to be in Aso Rock, even just for a day, so that it will be on record that I, Atiku Abubakar, was once the president of Nigeria. And anybody that follows Atiku to anywhere does not stand any chance. The Amichis of this world, the P2B of this world, Adegbeshola of this world, they are going to be used. Now they are realizing it. And that's why they are abandoning ADC for him.
So Obi will go to PDP and contest on the platform where he has been the vice presidential candidate to Atiku before, while Atiku will now contest on the platform of the ADC. That's if he gets the presidential ticket in 2027. Is
Atiku,
that the best that they can do?
If Atiku is going to remain in ADC till 2027, nobody can wrestle the ticket from him. He will get the ticket. You know, I'm always blunt, and it doesn't sound like good music to the ears, but everybody will tell me later to say you said it. And so Peter Obi and Atiku cannot remain in the same political party. And it would have been, it's even better for Peter Obi now to move, because if he stays longer than necessary, he may not have that political worth to bring to any new party. Because Atiku will not choose a Peter Obi or Amici as his vice presidential candidate in any election. Not even under this ADC coalition. Even under this ADC. Let Peter Obi remain in ADC. So who best to be is VP then? Would he be another northerner? He can't be another northerner. But most presidents now, they want people that are pliant. And Obi doesn't seem pliant. Obi that has ambition to become president. How would an Atiku trust him when he knew what he did to his principal, Obasanjo? Don't you think that will haunt him, and he will believe that Obi might want to upset him? Mr. Dele-Fanimo, thank you for joining me this afternoon. It's been quite an insightful conversation. You seem to be a political prophet, but let's just see how these issues play out in the days to come. Thank you so much for joining me on the World News at 12 this afternoon. I do appreciate you. It's always my pleasure. Always a pleasure to have you here as well. You have been listening to World News at 12 right here on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. We'll now head to the capital city to take the news from our sister station, Voice of the People, 96.1 FM.
Thanks for staying with us. These are the latest developments from the nation's capital. I am Nkamiang John. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, Nyesom Wike, has inaugurated a vetting committee to review the sale of federal government houses and the titling of designated park plots in the FCT. Speaking during the inauguration of the committees, the FCT Director of Land Administration, Chijoke Nwowoze, said the move followed the discovery of serious irregularities in the allocation and sales of federal government properties in the territory. He listed some of the irregularities as deviation from approved mandates, improper verification, late payments, inadequate documentation, and poor interdepartmental coordination. He explained that the minister approved the constitution of the committees with clear mandates and timelines to ensure proper scrutiny and accountability in the handling of land-related matters. He noted that the committee on the sale of federal government houses is expected to restore order and transparency in line with the original 2003-2005 monetization policy framework. The Federal Capital Territory chapter of the Action Democratic Congress ADC has denied allegations that the party received 60 million naira from some politicians to swap chairmanship aspirants ahead of the February 21st, 2026 council election. Addressing newsmen at the party's secretariat in Abuja, the FCT Secretary of the ADC, Ogun Hygienius John, dismissed the claims as baseless and false. He also refuted reports that aides to Senator Ireti Kingibe allegedly collected 50 million naira to facilitate the swapping of chairmanship candidates from other political parties, describing the information as unfounded and a smear campaign. John insisted that the rumor was the handiwork of frustrated politicians bent on discrediting the ADC and its leadership in the territory. He reaffirmed the party's commitment to upholding the mandate of all candidates who legitimately secured their nominations, stating that there are no plans now or in the future to swap, replace, or invalidate any candidate's mandate. To curb crime and restore order in the Federal Capital Territory, the Joint Security Task Force, codenamed Operation Sweep, has arrested 210 suspects, including one-chance operators, street beggars, and scavengers. The arrests, which took place within the first 3 days of the operation, include 80 men, 58 women, and 72 children. FCT Director of Security, Dami Gwari, disclosed this after a review meeting with security commanders held at the FCT Police Command headquarters in Abuja. The meeting focused on evaluating field reports, identifying operational challenges, and strengthening strategies to build on the initial gains. The session had in attendance top officials from the Nigerian Army, Navy, Police, NSCDC, FRSC, and other agencies. Spokesperson of the FCT Police Command, SP Josephine Ade, said the meeting highlighted the need for better intelligence sharing, coordinated patrols, and joint enforcement across the territory. The initiative aligns with the directive of the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, who has consistently called for the removal of criminal elements and environmental nuisances from the capital. Those are the latest developments from the nation's capital. I am Nkamian John.
And that was the news from Voice of the People, 96.1 FM Abuja. You have been listening to World News at 12, right here on Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Just before we wrap up, let's take a look at the top stories again. You heard that China has offered parents $1,500 to boost the birth rate. Nigerians must go. Ghanaians protest alleged prostitution and ritual killings. Ex-Borno State Governor confirms Obi heading to PDP to contest 2027 presidency. And the jostle for Mahmoud Yakubu's successor begins as INEC chairman prepares to exit. And that is a wrap on the World News at 12. My name is Chioma Innocent. Please follow our social media handles at VOP903 FM. For coverage of your live event and brand news mentioned in our news bulletins, do send a mail to news@voiceofthepeople.ng. Good afternoon and thank you for listening.